Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here, and welcome to another episode of Wizard Watch. Now before we get into the juicy stuff, as always, it'd be really appreciative if you could like the video, share the video, and even better, subscribe if you're new. And as always, get down in the comment section, what did you think of tonight's SmackDown? Now, as always, in no particular order, we're going to go for the top 5 moments, and how can we not start off with the BloodLine angle? The Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, Solo Sikoa, Jimmy and Jey Uso, and of course, add the Wise Man in there as well. And it all started with Roman Reigns basically sending Solo and Jimmy on a hunt for Jey Uso, which is absolutely hilarious because he's lost Jey Uso legitimately, and it is interesting because Jey did put on his Insta, you know, what are you doing with your life if you haven't checked out Instagram, right? Of course, saying that he's out, but is he really out of the bloodline? He didn't show up this week on SmackDown. So is he genuinely out, or is there going to be a swerve? Now, of course, this annoyed Roman Reigns. He came down to the ring and basically said people just want to take from him, essentially. And then out of nowhere, Sami Zayn in a hoodie attacked Roman Reigns, and I popped so hard. Listen to the reaction that Sami Zayn is getting. It is like deafening now. He is so over, it's ridiculous. And he even speared Roman Reigns, and just as he went to hit Roman Reigns with a chair shot, Roman sort of scabbed away like he usually does, tail between the legs sort of thing. Really annoyed. And then sort of things turned for the worst a little bit as Sami kind of said, I'm going to challenge you. Like, I didn't want anything from you before, but now I do. I'm coming for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship, and I'm challenging you at the Elimination Chamber. And of course, Sami got another beat down. Solo was about to absolutely annihilate Sami Zayn in the corner with a chair. Roman stopped, and then it's just pure poetry. The chemistry that Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn, this whole dynamic has, without microphones, like lines like, I gave you the key to the kingdom. You know, basically you've thrown everything in my face. Damn right you're on. And I'm going to embarrass you basically in front of your family in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, at the Elimination Chamber. And that match is on, and it's mouth-watering. I can't wait. Now, of course, the questions come up. Do Solo and Jimmy know what's going on with Jey? Is there going to be some sort of major swerve? My guess moving forward is ultimately Jey just falls back in line, helps Roman Reigns and costs Sami Zayn, and then we get a tag team matchup between the Usos and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. I'm assuming Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns will go ahead for both of those titles. And maybe the payoff is the tag team titles. The question is that a big enough payoff for Sami Zayn? Remains to be seen. Now, coming in at moment number 2. Now, I must admit, this freaked me out. Uncle Howdy, what are you playing at, sir? Bray Wyatt was just sitting backstage on his rocking chair. They sort of did a recap for what happened at the Royal Rumble with Bray Wyatt's new character reveal. Some cool new shots along the way there. And then out of nowhere, this creepy hand just on the side. And you knew it was Howdy. But you didn't know Howdy was going to turn around and freak the living daylights out of us all. That was like literally, legitimately, like got me out of my seat. I was terrified. But this is brilliant. This obviously all but confirms that Uncle Howdy and Bray Wyatt are in sync. They're in unison. Is this a tag team? Like, who knows? Like, I have got a separate video coming up on this, a theory video, which I think involving the Uncle Howdy masks, but nevertheless, it's a pretty cool segment. Now, moving on to moment number 3, it was a tag team match between Ricochet and Braun Strowman versus Imperium, and it was a decent match. Now, many people were a bit disappointed that Imperium took the loss here, because obviously Gunther and Imperium are so over, like, and why not after Gunther's amazing show in the Royal Rumble? But it was a cool finish. I love the fact that Braun Strowman hit the monster bomb, and then Ricochet's got this move where he basically just flips off Braun Strowman's shoulders, and they picked up the W. Now, do I think that Braun Strowman and Ricochet are gonna beat the Usos for the tag titles? No, not in a million years. As I said before, in moment number 1, surely it's going to be the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, you'd assume, possibly, but who knows. Nevertheless, it was a really, really good match. Now, coming in at moment number 4, a decent match, I thought, between the Viking Raiders and the Brawling Brutes. Again, I just love this type of matchup because you know it's just going to be one hell of a scrap. Now, I knew when this match got announced that the likelihood was the Vicious Viking Raiders were going to go over, of course, the Brawling Brutes. And then Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, shockingly, were going to come out and get their revenge for last week. And that's exactly what they did. And I'm all up for this. I kind of like this Drew McIntyre, Sheamus versus the Viking Raiders, of course, plus Valhalla. I like it. I really like it. For some reason, I do. And, you know, I've got a soft spot on this channel for the Brawling Brutes. I think they're absolutely badass. I love the fact they just have a scrap. And I think commentary were basically saying, look, it's been a couple of weeks since they've had a scrap. So the match against the Viking Raiders, even though they lost, it doesn't harm anyone along the lines here. And that's absolutely fine. Now, coming in at the final moment, we have to give, obviously, attention to the Fatal 4-Way match, the Women's Fatal 4-Way match for a #1 contendership at the Elimination Chamber in that matchup. And it was a decent match. Zelina Vega, Shotzi, of course, Shayna Baszler and Natalya in a match. Natalya getting the victory, which I think is the right decision here. Like, can we not just for a second appreciate like the longevity in Natalya's character? And yes, she's changed colours more times than a chameleon, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. She's still at the top, hit the sharpshooter. It was the right move, of course, to get that on Zelina Vega and protect Shotzi and Shayna. It kind of makes sense. And although I'm a massive Shotzi fan, and I'd like to have seen her in the Elimination Chamber, it's an easy way of getting Natalya through to that tournament without causing too much upset, to be honest with you. Did I just say tournament? I mean Elimination Chamber, you know what I mean. Other noteworthy mentions go to Charlotte Flair having a matchup for the SmackDown Women's Championship against Sonya Deville, getting the victory via submission. And also, is nobody talking about the fact that Rey Mysterio and Dom are goofing around in NASCAR like races, right? But are we not addressing the fact that Rey Mysterio didn't get eliminated from the Royal Rumble, and would he not be slightly pissed about that? Like, are WWE insulting our intelligence here? Surely Rey would be like completely rolled up. Also, the fact that Dom took his mask after saying that Dom needed to earn the mask to get the mask from Rey Mysterio. Logic! Anyway, overall, it was a pretty decent show. It wasn't a groundbreaking show. The main standout thing for me was the BloodLine segment, to be honest with you. And of course, I'm interested to see where this Bray Wyatt Uncle Howdy dynamic leads. As I said, got a separate video on that coming up tomorrow on the channel. It's a mini theory, like we love on this channel. And there you have it. As always, be really appreciative if you could like the video, share the video. Even better, subscribe if you're new. Turn the notification bell on to get notified every time a video pops up, and we will catch you in the next one.